it's always, you said it on the social media thing, whine, whine, whine. How do you address people like that when you come across them?
Oh boy. So I think
Yeah,
all
that's a tough
three of
one.
us would have a different way of dealing with it.
Yeah, no question about it.
And it's dependent upon our personalities,
Yeah.
and I think our personalities are going to become very apparent. Me,
Hmm.
I don't address things head on. I don't. I don't know why. I don't know why. I had a very dear friend growing up who used to say, "You can't lead by example. Sometimes you have to be forceful." Is that a fair statement?
I
Yeah.
think it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I just can't do that. I always resort to trying to lead by example, and I don't disagree with them, by the way. I think that's true. I think sometimes you can't lead by example. You have to be forceful. But my personality is such that if I were dealing with an individual who just refused to hold themselves accountable, my dad used to tell us something. He used to say, "You guys have heard this. Uh, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right?" Okay. My dad always put a little spin on the end of that. He said, "But you can give him salt, right?
Yeah.
Because if you give them salt, they'll start drinking."
Mhm.
And so that's kind of the approach that I take. That's the approach that I take with people is, I sort of give them that salt, and I try to gently get them to be to be self accountable.
It really kills me when I see that, because I have to deal with people every day. And I think in my line of work, the biggest thing, and I never can come up with the solution to that. Like, you can get up every morning and go to work, but everything else in your life, you don't seem to even focus on, except for the,
Well, that's the difference in personal priorities. We're talking about what Dave just said. I'm more of a, hit it head on, lay it out with complete transparency. And if you're underperforming, I'm going to let you know about it, but I'm going to follow it right up with, I'm going to support you. And so, and then follow it up with, I'm going to stretch you and I'm going to hold you accountable. And so those four things, if you can get them to see and buy into that concept, then you've won somebody over. They're going to trust you. They're going to try harder. And if they fail, they know they're not going to get fired or let go. They're going to continue to try, and they're going to finally succeed at some point.
now you said we didn't get to you when I asked Bob and Dave about one of their deepest moments that they were in that frame of mind. What about yourself?
I mean, there have been numerous times in my life where it's just as simple as just start putting one foot in front of the other. But the key to that is you got to know where you're going. So,
Not always.
or at least the general direction.
That's
right. I mean, I've
you
gone
may
through,
not figure it out right away.
right. I've gone through a divorce also. I've had a career change that wasn't of my doing. So, but you've got to find your values and just live up to them. And I think, going back to the whole sphere of influence thing, I tend to not deal with the elephant in the room. We tend to meet on the sidewalk. So, so but I also surround myself with people that challenge me and make me grow. If someone can't do that in either my personal or professional life, then I can still be acquaintances and have fun with them, but it's not going to be a long-term.
You know how much to feed them. I call that feeding with the spoon. I know how far I need to deal with that person.
Well, I try to look at it more as a partnership in whatever it is we're doing. And, and that sphere of influence goes both ways. Right. And if somebody can't do that or, whatever, then that's when hard decisions have to be made. And those aren't always fun, but, especially when it comes to work, because, anybody who's managed anybody has had to make hard decisions regarding good people for the betterment of the organization. And that's just what has to happen sometimes.
What do you see happening now with all the stuff that we're going through? People not knowing who they are and no jobs, and get real. People are scared now.
People are getting rid of the stuff in their life that doesn't matter, and it's hard because everybody thought it did. And so some people are really struggling. Some people are thriving. Frankly, when adversity happens, I've heard from different books I've read, your struggles define your life.
Right.
And it's for two reasons. One, it means you care. You don't struggle if you don't care. And the other thing is it gives you the opportunity to own it and respond to it. And so watch what's happening right now. People that are thriving, even though it's hard, and there's people that are getting beaten down, and it's sad, but that's kind of partly what they've chosen to do in response.